Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I figured I could go for a bit of a ride around town, you know, do a bit of an edit, mash up kind of that whole kit and caboodle, and do a bit of a review of my bike. Now, 2012 CBR250R, it's not very stock, so can't really compare it to anything. Can't really compare it to the stock model, but I've made a few little changes that have made me enjoy it a bit more, seeing as I'm stuck on it for a few more years, for another year or so, just because of the New South Wales licensing conditions. I have to ride a LAMS bike, LAMS approved bike, which is the owner approved motorcycle scheme. Basically, bike has to be under 125 kilowatts or 150 kilowatts per ton and be under 660 capacity. So I think probably I'm just going to stick with this one for a little bit longer. I mean, I can get plenty low enough on it, screw around, do what I need to, but it just doesn't have enough power, so that's the only reason I want to upgrade. But other than that, it is an awesome bike. It's probably the best bike to learn to go fast on, because it's got enough, being a single cylinder vibrator that it is, it's got enough torque in it that you can really push out of the corners, but doesn't have too much that if you come in too hot, if you you get on it too quickly, you're going to kill yourself on the low side or high side or whatever. Plenty of and you can I almost jump on the brakes as often as I can. Pretty much come into a corner almost on brakes the entire way until I'm leant over. On the front brakes, no problems. Suspension's that nice. I've adjusted mine a little bit. Some progressive springs in the front end, heavier fork oil, so it's a bit stiffer. The rear suspension's still stock, but it's cranked all the way up, so the preload's almost non-existent. Makes it a bit, bumpy riding around town with all the potholes and terrible drivers, but the bike runs so nice. It's got plenty of torque, plenty of low end. Seem to die off above 7,500, 8,000 revs, but what do you expect out of a little 250 that's just meant to, keep you entertained and be used for commuting? It's definitely a good bike. Definitely enjoying it. Plenty of fun to be had on one of these, though. You don't have to stuff around as much as I did. I just chose to because I like to tinker. I like to think, I like to play around with my bike, adjust little different things to make it even more fun, more entertaining, give me a little bit more to play with. Out. Fuck. And this is what happens when you're in Canberra. You've got people that drive with their heads well and truly and set it up their assholes. But yeah, CBR250R. Get roughly 350 Ks to a full tank, 13 litre tank. I think it's about 24.5 horsepower stock, so not outrageous, but still a good amount of fun. Mine's running a little bit higher because I've had it tuned and tuned for the pipe I'm running. So 350 Ks to a tank stock, I get about 280, 290, and that's not running it all the way down to reserve, which, you know, try to avoid, because you don't want all that shit in your fucking engine, especially when you got one cylinder. These things got plenty of power to do whatever the hell I want with it. Made a few little adjustments, like pegs. To me, the stock pegs sit too low. You know, after, you know, two and a half, 3 years of riding, I've kind of gotten the confidence to to lean the bike over a little bit more, take corners with a little bit more pace, and, you know, scraping pegs is not always fun on street, especially with, you know, how uneven the surfaces are. There was a few times when I scraped a peg or my toe, and I just didn't feel confident that I was going to be coming up out of it. So, you know, went out and bought some rear sets, a little bit further back, a little bit nicer riding position for me, personally. Of course, you know, you can't go wrong making like little adjustments like that, in my opinion. You know, rear sets, I want some lower bars on this because, you know, I'm going to be riding a super sport soon, hopefully an R6. So, you know, got to get into that, get used to that riding position. So, you know, you're not fucking around, not stuffing around, piss farting around. But yeah, loving the bike. It's never done me anything wrong. It's never done anything wrong to me, and I've never done anything wrong to it. And yeah. Will admit the bike is a little bit loud, but that's just because I have a M4 Street Slayer on it. Definitely a big proponent of the loud pipes save lives attitude. I mean, I ride with, every now and then, I ride with a few guys on Harleys, and I notice the difference that people seem to have towards the big noisy Harley compared to like the sports bikes that have got, you know, fairly stock have fairly quiet exhausts, but, you know, with a few tiny little changes can be a lot loud and can, you know, make your presence known on the road a lot more. And then we've got people like this who don't understand the fact that the accelerator's on the right. Definitely would recommend this bike to anyone that is looking for a bike to start out on, or, you know, just something to get to and from work like I do. Plenty of power for city riding, plenty of power for when you want to get out there and jump on the twisties, or, you know, when people can't drive for shit. And there we go. Let's roll on, and here we go. It's the other problem with the mountains in Canberra. It's the problem with the mountains in Canberra. Cyclists who can't stick to the other side of the road. Get the fuck out. So yeah. Loving my little CBR250R. Definitely recommend this bike to anyone looking to get into the riding scene. Riding scene, or, you know, just something nice to throw around when you don't want to throw around your big bike. It's definitely a nice bike. Plenty of power in the low and mid end, and it kind of dies off in the high end, but, you know, what can you do? Not much. So let's find somewhere nice and we'll do a quick walk around.